This is question 11 from the 2008 calculator paper. Here I'm asked to simplify 4a plus 3c minus 2a plus c. So the first thing that I like to do with these types of questions is I like to just put a barrier in front of the sign of each term. So if it's plus or minus, I just put a barrier in front of the plus sign, barrier in front of the minus sign, and a barrier in front of the plus sign. Just helps me to see it a little bit more clearly maybe. So I need to collect all of the letters together that are the same. So I'm collecting all of the A's together, and then I'll collect all of the C's together. If it helps us, you might want to call A apples and C carrots. So you're collecting all of the apples together and collecting all of the carrots. It's up to you. So I've got 4a minus 2a. That's going to give me 2a in total. So I've got 4 A's, take away 2 A's, that's going to give me 2a. Then I've got plus 3c plus another c. So I've got how many c's in total? 4c. So I've got 2a plus 4c. Now part B asks me to find the value of s when t equals 3 and a equals 1/4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to substitute t and a into this formula. So first of all, I can say that I'm going to be doing a half multiplied by a. Well, a is 1/4, so it's half multiplied by 1/4, then multiplied by t squared. T here is 3, so it's multiplied by 3 squared. Then I'm simply going to substitute this into my calculator. Half times 1/4 times 3 squared. So a half I could say is 0.5, 1/4 is 0.25, and then multiplied by 3 squared. Now on your calculator you may have fraction buttons. This does have a fraction button, but it's a little tricky to use, so I just converted the fractions into the equivalent decimals. So when I do that and I substitute all of those values in, I get 1.125 as my final answer. Part C asks me to factorise x squared minus 5x. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm simply going to find what do these two terms have in common. Have they got any numbers in common? No, but they do have x's in common. So I can start by saying that it's going to be x, and then what do I need to multiply x by to reach x squared? I need to multiply it by x. So it's going to be x bracket x. Then what do I need to multiply x by to reach negative 5x? Well, I'm going to have to multiply x by minus 5 to reach minus 5x. Next up, I've got x plus 3 in brackets, x plus 4 in brackets. First things first, I'm going to set up a little grid. You might do it differently to this, it's completely up to you how you go about doing it. So I'm going to multiply, and I like to think of this as the long multiplication of expanding. So I've got x and then plus 3, and then in this bracket I've got x and plus 4. So remember, whenever I see things in algebra, I'm multiplying them together. So I'm multiplying x plus 3 and I'm multiplying x plus 4. So when I do this, x times x gives me x squared. X multiplied by 3x, x multiplied by 3 gives me 3x. X multiplied by 4 gives me 4x. And then 4 multiplied by 3, that gives me 12. So collecting all of these together, I end up with x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. And what I can see here, it tells me not only to expand but also to simplify. So I need to collect things that I can collect together. Now, how many other x squareds have I got? I haven't got any other x squareds, so that stays as it is. However, I can see here that I've got two different x terms. So I've got 3x and 4x. So in total, how many x's have I got? I've got 7 of the x's. And then this number on the end, I can't collect that with any other numbers that are on their own. And so I just write plus 12 at the end. So my final answer there would be x squared plus 7x. You get a mark for each on these. If you did just simplify straight away, you'd still get 2 marks. It's just worth saying that. So part E, I'm asked to factorise y squared plus 8y plus 15. So I can see that this is in a similar format to x squared plus 7x plus 12. So what I'm going to need to recognise is that this is going to factorise two double brackets. And so I'm going to have y and y, and then I need to look for two numbers that will multiply to make 15, and two numbers that will that will sum to make plus 8. So they need to multiply to make plus 15, sum to make plus 8. So those two numbers are going to be plus 3 and plus 5. 3 multiplied by 5 gives me 15, plus 3 plus 5 gives me plus 8. Okay, if you didn't get those quite right, then there are some practice questions for you here. What I suggest you do is you pause the video and then press play to see the answers. So expanding 3 bracket 2x plus 5, I just need to multiply 3 times by 2x, that gives me 6x, and then I need to do 3 multiplied by plus 5, that gives me plus 15. Next one, I've got 3x multiplied by 4x, that's going to give me 12x squared. Then 3x multiplied by minus 5y, that's going to give me minus 15xy. And then I've done that one. And then I need to multiply 3x by plus 2, that's going to give me plus 6x. Then this one here, x plus 2, x minus 5. This is like one of the later questions that we looked at. I'm going to set out my grid, and I'm timesing them. This is like my long multiplication. I've got x and plus 2, and I've got x and my negative 5. X multiplied by x gives me x squared. X multiplied by plus 2, that gives me plus 2x. X multiplied by negative 5 gives me minus 5x, and then that gives me minus 5 multiplied by plus 2 gives me minus 10. Collecting all of these together, I'm going to get x squared minus 3x minus 10. So just basically collecting these two bits here together. I've got x squared, that stays as it is, plus 2x minus 5x gives me minus 3x, and then I've got that minus 10 on the end. Okay, so more questions if you got those wrong earlier. These are on factorizing, so pause the video now and attempt these questions. I've got 8x plus 22. What we need to do here is we need to put this into brackets. So we need to find, is there any numbers in common here? So is there a number that goes into both 8 and into 22? There is. That number is 2. So that's going to go on the outside of my bracket. Then what do I need to multiply 2 by to reach 8x? I need to multiply it by 4x. And then what do I need to multiply 2 by to reach 22? I need to multiply it by 11. Part B. Part B, again I'm being asked to factorise, so I need to find out what do these things have in common. They all have x's in common. So I'm going to have x on the outside of my bracket. And then what do I need to multiply x by to reach x squared? I need to multiply it by x. What do I need to multiply x by to reach plus 6x? That's just going to be plus 6. And then what do I need to multiply x by to reach negative 5xy? Well, that's going to be minus 5y. Part C, I've got x squared plus 9x plus 20. So I can see that this is in the same format as those ones that we looked at for Part E on the exam. And so this I know is going to go to double brackets. I need to find two numbers that will multiply to make the number on the end, but will sum to make the number in the middle. So what two numbers will multiply to make plus 20, but sum to make plus 9? That's going to be plus 5 and plus 4. Finally, some substitution questions. If you got any of these ones wrong, pause the video now and attempt these questions, then press play. So I'm asked to find the value of y. Y is equal to ab cubed. We're told that a is 3, b equals 2. So what I can say is that this is going to be 3 multiplied by 2 cubed. So that is going to give me 3 multiplied by 2 cubed is 8. That's going to give me an answer of 24. So I could say that y is equal to 24. Then this one here, t is equal to y squared divided by 2. Y equals 5. Find the value of t. So y is equal to 5. So substituting 5 into this formula, that's going to give me 5 squared divided by 2. So 5 squared is 25. 25 divided by 2 is going to give me 12.5. And so that means that I could say that t is equal to 12.5.